I gave Claude Code 10 feature requests in a row. I accepted every single diff without reading it. 33 minutes later, 90% test coverage had dropped to 0. Not reduced, 0. The code Claude wrote literally cannot run. And here's the part that should scare you. This is exactly what's happening on every AI-accelerated team I talk to. Here is the damage. 607 new lines of code scattered across 15 files. Claude imported a library it never installed, wrote the code that uses it, shipped the diff, never ran it once. And this file. This is the items router. One entity, one list endpoint, one create, one delete. It started at 58 lines, readable, obvious, boring in the best possible way. It is now 282 lines. Nothing in here is technically wrong. Everything in here is a ticking bomb. The number of analyzed functions and classes up 72%. Every one of them is a new surface to reason about, to test, to debug. The project used to have 92 things to understand. Now it has 158. Let me show you how we got here. I started with a standard full-stack FastAPI template, clean, modern, already tested. 90% coverage on 60 tests, all passing. Cyclomatic complexity at 1.74, which is as low as real code gets. Then I opened Claude Code and gave it 10 feature requests in a row. The rule? Accept every diff without reading it. Run every command Claude suggests without checking it. No code review, no test runs in between. Just like a team under deadline pressure, with vague requirements and no time to think. The prompts were designed to overlap. Authentication, rate limiting, email notifications, webhooks, role-based access control, file uploads to S3, full-text search, audit logging, Redis caching, background job processing. Every one of these features touches something the previous features added. That is not an edge case. That is every real code base. After 3 features, the numbers barely moved. Complexity had inched up. Tests still green. But the test files themselves, they had been modified. Not by a test engineer, by Claude. The assertions that verified the original auth flow had been silently rewritten to conform to the new code. The safety net is now agreeing with whatever the code does, which is not a safety net. That is a rubber stamp. After 6 features, entire new modules have appeared. A webhooks folder, an audit folder, a storage module. Each of them, in isolation, looks fine. But the codebase is now importing from paths that did not exist an hour ago. The architecture of the project has shifted 4 times. No human has been in the loop for any of those shifts. By prompt 10, Claude is adding a Celery worker, a Redis broker, a Docker Compose service, and retry policies with exponential backoff, all to send one email asynchronously. Each decision in isolation is defensible. Celery is a reasonable choice. Redis is a reasonable choice. Exponential backoff is a reasonable choice. The sum is a small distributed system, introduced in a single accept click for what used to be a single function call. And then the test suite dies. Because somewhere back in iteration 6, when the S3 file upload feature was added, Claude imported a library it never actually installed. No human ran the tests in between. We were busy accepting. So the error sat there, latent, for 4 more prompts, until we hit the test step, and the whole thing crashed. That is the time bomb. The code is not wrong. The code is not broken. The code is just waiting for somebody to press run. Here's the thing AI coding agents do not have. They do not have a memory of your code base's intentions. They see syntax, they see patterns. They are extraordinarily good at producing a diff that looks right in isolation. They are systematically bad at asking the question, does this decision make sense for the shape this project is trying to become? A senior engineer who has been on the codebase for 6 months will push back on a proposal that adds Celery Redis, a new compose service, and a retry policy to send one email. An AI agent will not. The AI agent's job is to close the ticket in front of it, not to defend the architecture. And the tests are not going to save you, because the agent rewrites tests as cheerfully as it writes features. The green check mark next to your test suite used to mean somebody thought about the contract of this function and verified it. With an agent in the loop, the green check mark means the agent agrees with itself. That is a much weaker statement. Sometimes it is no statement at all. The defense is not to stop using AI. The defense is to constrain it. 3 things worth the 10 minutes. 1. A Claude.md file in your repo root with the rules the agent must not cross. Do not add new infrastructure without review. Do not restructure existing modules. Do not remove or modify existing tests. Write it like a senior engineer onboarding a junior who is a little too eager. 2. A review gate. Never accept more than 2 diffs in a row without a human, or at minimum, an automated check reading them. If your team is too tired to enforce this with discipline, enforce it with a hook. 3. Architectural boundaries. If the agent is allowed to touch the auth layer and the storage layer in the same turn, it will. Scope each prompt narrowly. The narrower the scope, the less carelessness you inherit. AI coding agents are not making developers faster. Developers are sometimes making themselves faster by telling the agent what to do. That distinction matters, because when the code looks right and does not run, the agent is not the one explaining it to the team. The debt is yours. The bomb is yours. Half an hour of accept, accept, accept is not a shortcut. It is a mortgage with a very short horizon.